Well, today in this video we are going to analyze what is the definitive solution for the problem that occurs in some teams that have the latest version of Windows 10 regarding the GameRanger program. As you can see here, I have it run normally when you just install it. It opens normally the first time. However, once we close it and try to run the game again, the following error will appear. GameRanger has found an unexpected error and must close. This error has been saved automatically. This is what this tab says. Looking in internet forums, quite the truth, because it is difficult to find a solution to this answer. We see in Russian forums and in Anglo-Saxon forums that have determined that the best thing that can be done in this case is to come here and right-click on the icon, give it properties, come to the compatibility tab and run the program in compatibility mode for Windows XP seen in any of its services. That is, in Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2 or XP, also in Service Pack 2 or Service Pack 3. After doing this, come here to apply, give it to accept. After choosing one, what is the problem with this solution that the forums raise? It turns out that since we have different games within GameRanger, it may be that when running it with Windows XP or Vista compatibility, these games are not adequately supported and therefore it will generate compatibility errors in those games. For this reason, seeing that this was not the solution that I needed, I tried to look directly for what was the file or the problem that was being generated from the internal files of the game program. For this, then I am going to show you the first, let's say, stage of the definitive solution, and that is that every time I wanted to play I would have to have come to do this. Right-click on the icon, open the location of the file. This would appear to us and we would have to return a folder, then go to GameRanger Pref, that is, GameRanger Preferences, where, for example, the user email is stored and apart this information, what matters to us is inside this folder, the components folder, and these are these two files. It turns out that the file that generates this error for us is this, C3. As you can see, if I delete it I will be able to open GameRanger normal, and this is what I should have done every time I wanted to open GameRanger to be able to play. Come open and delete this file. Why? Because every time we run GameRanger, automatically the GameRanger program is going to download the C3 partition that after a while is going to create the C3 folder again, generating the problem again. To avoid this, I am going to avoid waiting for everything to be downloaded first. That is inside the C3 folder. I am going to restore it from the recycle bin. Here it is. We are going to restore it and we are going to delete. Having closed GameRanger, we are going to delete the partition, okay? The definitive solution starts here and it is the following. We are going to repeat that process of coming here, giving the GameRanger icon, opening the location of the file. We are going to return a folder. We go to GameRanger Preferences, then to Components. We delete C3 as if we were doing everything for the first time, but now the difference with that first stage of the method is that we are going to return to GameRanger Preferences and Components, and once here in Components we are going to right-click and we are going to come to the Properties. In the Properties we no longer come to the compatibility window or anything but to the security window. What are we going to do here? As you can see, here are all the user profiles that are registered in the Windows operating system. Apart from the system user and the administrator user, if you want, identify which of these three is the one that is using the GameRanger program to create automatically every time we delete the folder or detect that it is needed in the files, the folder.c3. If you do not want to do it, then one by one you are going to apply the following method. As I already know that the program uses this account, then I am only going to do it in this account. Let's proceed then. What we have to do is select it. Come here, we give it to edit and we are going to select again and we are going to look here in the special permissions, the writing permission, and we are going to deny it. We give it to apply and accept. If you want to do it in all of them, then the same process. For example, they come to system, they give it writing, deny, and administrators come and give it writing, deny. Once they have done this in all the profiles or in the three that appear or only in the one that you identify that is the one that is being used, then they give it to apply and give it to accept. As I already know that it only uses one, Then I unzip these two boxes and I stay. With this unzipped, we give it to apply. This Windows security message will appear to us because it is supposed that we should not go there removing the writing permissions from the folders, but as we already know that this method works and is already approved, we give it yes. We give it to accept, and here we also give it to accept. Now we are going to check again that GameRanger opens us. That is to say, that the C3 file is not here as you can see it opened. Maybe it was not very evident, but we are going to close it from here to reopen it. Okay, let's try again. Now it appears that it is opening and it opens perfectly, and what do we have to verify? Well, let's go to the location where the GameRanger is installed. We go back, GameRanger, GameRanger Preferences, Components, and here we are not creating the C3 partition automatically, or the C3 folder is not going to be created later. In this way, until there's perhaps a new patch, an update of GameRanger, this would come being what I think is the best solution or definitive solution for the problem of unexpected bugs in GameRanger. With this then, there is only to have fun with many more hours of games. Until next time.